The topic of class is Snehapana in Panchakarma, biochemical basis and clinical application. As we all know that Snehapana is a very crucial procedure in Panchakarma. Once in previous lecture we already discussed the Rukshana part of Panchakarma, that is the preparation. But in Snehapana it starts the A, alphabet A, that is the starting of Panchakarma. Once we are successful in Panchakarma, in Snehapana, then it gives success in both Panchakarma, like Vamana and Virechana. So it's the most important area which is for a Panchakarma physician, which they should understand in a detail. So today's content of today's lecture is concept of Snehana in Ayurveda, indications of Snehapana in Panchakarma, types and methods of Snehapana, procedure of various Snehapana, clinical applications of Snehapana, and scientific basis and limitations in studies of Snehapana. Like, what are the difficulties we face in the research of Snehapana? That we'll discuss in that. So what are the questions like usually a student get before starting the Panchakarma? Like, what is the Snehana? And what is the difference between the Snehana and Snehapana? What are the types of Snehapana? What are the Sneha we use for the Snehapana? What are the do's and don'ts for Snehapana? What are the indications of Snehapana? How clinically applied the Snehapana in various diseases? And how to perform Snehapana in clinical practice? And how to understand Snehapana in scientific way? This is what today morning one student asked me in the IPD, ma'am, how you recite the Snehapana dose. So these all the questions will be answered in this lecture. So what is the concept of Snehana in Ayurveda? Is Snigdhatva is an essential property for the proper functioning of the body. As you all know, like Sneha Saro Vayam Purushaha, this is told by the Sushruta. Okay, Pranasha Sneha Bhuishta. So the prana, the essence of our body is the Sneha Bhuishta. That is made up of Sneha. Like we know the Oja, Paroja. That concept is nothing than the Sneha. So that's how we have to understand the Snigdhata. That Snehana provides the lubrication, softness and smoothness to the dhatus and strotasas. As modern science already recovered that a Sneha can cross the BB, blood-brain barrier. No any Vatha, not any Churna can cross that, but Sneha can cross that. So that's why it has a effect on the dhatus. And mostly for the all deeper dhatus, we usually use the Snehana. The Snehana is an important part in Ayurveda. So in Panchakarma, it makes the vitiated dosha loosen. It has different role in Panchakarma. That's why the Snehana we use it as a Shamana also and for the Sanshodhana also. So in Panchakarma, it makes the vitiated doshas loosen or vilana of the doshas, and it take them to the Poshtagata. So they can be removed easily or expelled easily. So this is the shloka from the Sushruta, Sneha Saro Vayam Purushaha, Pranasya Sneha Bhuishta. So all the Purushas, all the human beings are made up of the Sneha. Sneha Sara is the essence of Sneha. Pranasya Sneha Bhuishta. The prana is also has correlation with the Sneha. Sneha Sadhasya Bhavanti. So everything is sadhya. Everything is possible with Sneha. Sneho hi Pana Anuvasana Mastishka. Where we use the Sneha. In Pana, Snehapana, in Anuvasana, in Mastishka, that is Shirobhanga, Pichu, Basti, Dhara, Shirobasti, Uttarabasti, Nasya, Karnapuran, Gatra Abhyanga, that is local Abhyanga, Bhojaneshu Upayojaha. In all this way, we use the Sneha. So the basics of Sneha, if you know how to use Sneha, then it will be applied in all this procedure. So what is Snehana? Sneha is having particular gunas like Snigdha, Guru, Manda, Mridu, Sara. These are the gunas of Sneha which a sneha. Four snehas are having it. How to use it in the clinical practice, that we'll see. The snehana therapy, it soften, loosen, liquefy and mobilize the aggravated doshas from the peripheral tissues, like from the shakhas to koshtas, towards the GI tract for the easy elimination. It is the one among the Shadupakrama. Like among the Shadupakrama, Snehan is the one. So that is the treatment modality actually. We use it in Panchakarma as a part of Panchakarma, but Snehan is a one among the Shadupakramas. That is one treatment modality in Ayurveda treatment. Like whenever there is Vata Pradhanta, you have to do the Snehana. That can be internal, that can be external, that can be Panchakarma. What it may be. The Sneha is a main treatment in the clinical practice. What Sneha does? Sneho anilam hanti mridu karoti deham malanam vinihanti sangam. This is in the context of Panchakarma. This is written in Charak Samhita Siddhisthana first chapter. Like Sneho anilam hanti. What Sneha does? It does the Vata Shamana, Anila hanti, mridu karoti deham. It does soften the body and it separates the waste. Malana Vinihanti Sangam. It separates the waste and it takes the waste from the mala. Mala can be here, mala can be considered as a dhatu or mala also, dosh also. So it removes the waste from the mala, Vinihanti Sangam, and it will liquefy and put in the koshtha. So coming to the Snehapana, as today's lecture is on Snehapana, so it's a therapeutic oral intake of Sneha Dravyas that might be Ghita, Taila, Vasa, Macha. It is used either for the Shodhana or Shamana therapy. Okay, so prior to Snehana, we should assess the proper Rukshana and then we can go for the Snehapana. So what are the types of Snehapana usually we do in Ayurvedic clinical practice? It's a might be we give the Acha Snehapana. That is the intake of Ghita or Taila or Sneha. Sometimes we give the Vasamacha also. Alone in increasing dose. That is Acha Snehapana. Okay. Till we are getting the Samyak Sneha Lakshana. Sometimes Acha Snehapana is used for the Shamana also. There we won't expect the whole Samyak Sneha Lakshana. Okay. The second type is Vicharana Snehapana. Like we use the Sneha in food or with food. That is Vicharana Snehapana. And this Acha Snehapana or Abhyantar Snehapana is divided into the three types, subtypes. That is Shodhana Sneha, Shamana Sneha and Brahmana Sneha. The Shodhana Sneha, again there are different types. So Sadhya Sneha is one among that. Shamana Sneha again having many types. So Avapida Sneha comes under Shamana Sneha, though the dose is high. And third is the Brahmana Sneha. What are the Sneha Dravyas? We usually use 4 Sneha Dravyas and the Dravya selection is depend upon the dosha, season and disease. So general indication is if it is a Vata Pitta predominance and we want to work on the mind or systemic disorders, we prefer the Ghita. If it is Kapha Vata predominance and we want to use in the joint diseases, we use the Taila. If it is Marmagata, we use the Vasa. And if it is severe Vata disorders or emaciation or deep-rooted emotions or dhatus, we go for the Macha. So in text, there are the different indications given for the typical Sneha or one Sneha. So what are that? So Dhrita, for Dhrita it is told Tatra Dhi Smuti Nidhadi Kangshinam Shashyate Ghrutam. This is from the Ashtanga Hridaya. Whenever a physician or a clinician wants to work on the Dhi Smruti, okay, like in the neurological functions, for the cognitive functions, Dhi, Smruti, Medha, Adi Kangshinam Shashyate Ghrutam. So for that, we should go for the Ghita. Or the diseases of neurological diseases, we should go for the Ghita. Then Taila, whenever there is a disease like Granthi, Nadi, Krumi, Kapha, Shleshma Rogas, Medo Rogas, Maruta Rogeshu, or the Vata disorders, Taila is the good thing. Lagha, for where we have to use the Taila, Laghava when we expect the lightness. Dardya, like strength we want. Krura Koshteshu, Dehishu. Those who are having Krura Koshta, the preferable sneha is Taila. Though it is for the Shamana or though it is for the Shodhana, whenever we expect the Laghava Dardharthi, Krura Koshta is there, we should go for the Taila. This is the indications. And whenever there is Kapha predominance or Medorog or Meda predominance, Vata predominance, Krumi or Nadi is there, Nadi Roga is there, the preferable Sneha is Taila. Then Vasamacha, Vata Atapa Bhara, like Vata predominance or those who are used to Atapa, Adhva, those who are working walking more or exercising more, Bhar, those who are carrying more weight, Stri, those who are indulging sex more, Vyayam, those who are doing routinely fitness, gym or exercises, Kshina Dhatushu, those who are having very Kshina Dhatu, like all Dhatus, Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Medasti, Majja, if they are in the emaciated or in the Kshin or in the nutritional deficiencies there, or there is less Bala, Kshina Dhatushu, there are Ruksha Klesha Kshama Attagni. Yeah, those whose body is having Ruksha Klesha Kshama. This is most important. Who can bear the Klesha? Klesha Kshama. Attagni. Those who are having more Agni. Vatavrit Patheshucha. The Srutasas are coated with Vata. In that cases, we can use the Vasa and Majja. Okay, so this is, they have given the indication also, and what are the conditions where you can go for the Vasa Majja. That is also, if the patient is not Klesha Kshama and you are giving the Vasa Majja Sneha, he will get the giddiness or he will fall down or will sleep in the bed only. He won't wake up. That is what happening with the Vasa Majja. He cannot digest. If he is not having Agni, Attagni, he cannot digest the Vasa or Majja. So the strength of the patient should be more for the using Vasa Majja. Special indications of Vasa is Vasa to Sandhyasti Marma Koshta Ruja Shucha. So Vasa is ideally indicated for the Sandhi Vyadhis, Asthi Vyadhis. Like routinely in where we use Vasa is in osteomyelitis cases, very severe advanced cases of osteoporosis, or if there is injury in the brain, like Marma Koshta Ruja Shucha, like Marma Vyadhi, Koshta abdominal pain. In that cases, like where we get fractures, where we have the post-operative cases, there usually we use the Vasa, or in neurological cases, like if the epilepsy patient, in that cases only we use the Vasa. Tatha Dagda Ahata Bhrashta Yoni Karna Shiroruchi, like whenever there is burn, Ahat, like those who are fighting, they have the injury, Bhrashta Yoni, prolapse of the uterus, Karna Shira Ruchi, like ear pain, earache, or pain in the ear, headaches, different headaches. There we can go for the Vasa, where whenever, like it is simple, like when Taila and Ghrita is not useful, there we can go for the Vasa and Majja. This is for the Vasa. Then according to Sushruta, it is more or less same, like Charaka. What previous we discussed, it was about the Ashtanga Hridaya, and this is the Sushrutas. But sometime you will get the typical cases, and there the Sushruta has defined, like in Pravruddha Kapha Medasa. That is the obese patient or metabolic syndrome patient or Krumi Koshta. Like once, usually we get the many fungal infection cases, or we get the H. pylori infection patient. So there in Krimi Koshta, you can go for the Sarpishpana. Like this is for the Taila. In that case, you cannot give the Sarpi. So he has written like Ruksha Kshata Vishartana, those who are Ruksha Pradhana, having injury or having poisoning cases, Vata Pitta Vikarina. Those are predominance with the Vata Pitta or having diseases of Vata Pitta. Hina Medha Smritinam. Whenever there is a Medha and Smriti is Heen, for their Sarpipanam or Grita is ideal. Okay. And Krumikoshtha, Anilavishta, whenever there is Krumikoshtha, Vata disorders are there, and Kapha Medha is more. In that cases, we have to go for and the thing is, Pibeyu Tailis Atmascha. It is not for all. If I am not, the Taila is not Satme for me. This is for, I think, Dr. Shivu is there. Whenever there is, patient is not Taila Satma. Routinely, in Indian culture, we usually take the Taila in diet. Like in chutney in Maharashtra, they use the Taila in chutney, like groundnut chutney. So that is actually make us taila satme. A foreigner who never take the taila, we cannot go for the taila snehapana in them. There, preferably, we can go for the sarpi or grita. Those who are used to taila, that is taila satmasha, those, because what clinical experience says, like once you start, if the patient is Sukumara and you start the taila snehapana, on the second day he start having the severe headache. I think in Jamnagar we started first taila pana. And on the first day, 30 with 30 ml, we were not knowing that taila pana, when we give the taila, the dose should be less for the test dose also. So we gave the 30 ml and that patient was severe. She could not sit in the bed. She told, I'm having severe headache. Okay, that we understand that is because of the taila pana. And we managed that case. And next time in the females, we started giving the first 10 ml, 15 ml, then 20 ml. Then we increased the dose of the Tailapana. So that's what we did. We make the body to the Taila Satmya. So that's what then we read that Sushruta, he says Taila Satmasya. Those who are used to Taila, then only we can go for the Taila Snehapana. The Ardhyarthinasya, those who want the strong strength in the body. Then व्यायामकर्षिता शुष्क रेतो शुष्क रक्ता महारुजः महाग्नि मारुत प्राणा वसा योग्या नरा. For the vasa, he says maharujaha. If some person is having severe pain, maharujaha, mahagni, he is having more agni, not tikshna agni, mahagni, mahamaruta roga or vata roga. Prana is, or there is problem with prana, vasa yoga, they are the indicated for the vasa. And who are yogya? Vyayama karshita, those who are debilitated or those who are become weak after the more exercise or more work. Shushkareto, those having oligospermia or azoospermia, that or those having anemia, severe anemia, shushkarakta, they are the indicated for the vasa yogya. Then krura ashayaha, the ashayas are krur. So here we can take the koshtha also or other ashayas also. There is the dryness, krur, dryness is there, or vata kapha predominance is there. Klesha saha, because as you all know, snehapana is the toughest job in Panchakarma. It's not easy because a doctor will only tell the dose. Patient has to bear the discomfort of sneha, and sneha gives the discomfort. Sneha gives the klesha. That's why those who can bear the klesha, they are only indicated for the majja snehapana. Kleshasa vatartha, having vata disorder. Diptagni, agni is more. Majja apnuyuhu sarve sarpisham. Sarpi va swa aushad. Yeah, why I took this last line is Sarvehe sarpi va swa aushadhan vitam. This is the reference why the medicated, where the medicated grita are told for the snehapana. Okay. Swa aushadhan vitam. So the grita or the sneha can be medicated with particular medicines according to the disease, and that can be used for the snehapana. Again, there is the principle in which season which sneha should be used. Tailam praurushi. In Prauruta, in Varsha, we should go for the Taila Snehapana. Whatever will be the disease. If it is the Praurut Ritu, you can go for the Taila Snehapana. Varshante Sarpi, that after the Varsha, like in last part of Varsha, you can go for the Sarpi, that is Sharada. Anyotu Madhave. In other seasons, like Madhava is Vasanta. In Vasanta, you can go use the Vasa or Majja. Nanu Varshasu Tailam, Varshante Sarpi, Vasa Majjano, Madhavitiyo Ayam Niyamaha. Okay, so this is actually Niyam. This everybody, many student or sometimes the physicians also ask, there is a complication in Panchakarma, like they did the Snehapana and patient got the hypertension or patient got the hemorrhage. This happens. So then again, I usually tell them, if we are not following the principle, we are going to get complications. So at least the basic, whenever they say iti niyamaha, that we have to follow. Like in Sharada, we can go for the Sarpi. Not to use the Sharada Taila in Sharad Ritu. Not to use the Taila in summer season. And I have seen that whenever we change the Grita or change the Sneha, according to season, you get the complications or Vyapatas. Okay, so that's why the Rutu, selection of season or selection of Sneha as per season is very, very important. And again, he says, Ruto Sadharane Sneha. When to give the Snehapana? Ruto Sadharane. If it is extreme cold, if it is extreme hot, you should not go for the Sneha. We should not use Shastoni Vimale Ravo. If it is, there is a rainy season or there is the chances of rain is there, clouds are there, we should not go for the Snehapana. Vimalo Ravo, the Ravi or the Suryoday should be there, or the sunrise and fresh environment should be there in the sky. Then only we should go for the Snehapana. Okay, so Sadharan Rutus, they have told like Shravana Chaitra Kartishu. This is the Sadharan Rutu, Ruto Sadharane. These are the Sadharan Rutus. Many times in emergency, many physicians do the Panchakarma and then they end up with the complications. If there is, we are not doing any Panchakarma in the emergency diseases. We are doing in the Vata Shonita, we are doing in the Sandhigat Vata, we are doing Snehapana in skin diseases. And there are the many, like, that diseases are chronic diseases where we do the Panchakarma. So at least we can wait for the season. Many times, if it is Varsha, they will plan the Virechana or Vamana. It is not advisable. So Niyam is the Panchakarma should be done or Snehapana should be done in the Sadharan Ritu, that is Shravan, Chaitra, Kartikeshu. In other time, you can go for the Shamana. Shaman Sneha can be used, but not Shodhananga Snehapana. So what are the indications and contraindications of Snehapana? Where to use, where not to use. These are the general indication and contraindication by Ashtanga Svedya, Sanshodya, Madhyastri, Vyayama, Asakta Chintaka. Those who are indicated for the Sweda or we have to do Svedana for them, we can do the Sneha first. Sanshodya, we have planned the patient for Panchakarma. In Sanshodhana, mostly Vamana Virechana comes. So for Sanshodya, we can go for the Snehapana. Madhya, who are regularly taking the Madhya or alcoholics, because Madhya is having Ruksha Pradhan or it is Ruksha Pradhan. Madhyapana is Ruksha Pradhan. That's why the opposite is Snehana. That's why we should go for the Snehana in that. Stri Asakta, who are indulge more in the sex. Vyayam Asakta, who are more indulge in the exercise. Chintakaha, who are taking stress, or IT workers or able workers who are under stress of the senior authority. So that is the Chintakaha. Or some persons take more, they think more. So that is the Chintakaha. Vruddha Bala Abala. who are Vruddha, old age people, Bal, children's, Abal, those who are having less bala or strength is less, Krusha, those who are having lean body, Ruksha, those having dryness in the body or dry body or more vata, Kshina Astra Retesa, having less Astra, that is anemic, or Raktadhatu is less Retasa, Kshina Retasaha, oligospermia, Vata Artha, Vata Vyadhi, or having the Vata disorders, Senda, Abhishanda, that is eye disorders, Timira, this is also eye disease, Daruna Pratibodhinaha, those who are not could not open the eyes or don't have the senses. Pratibodhana, it is late for them. These are the indications of sneha. Here you will find the combination. This is the indications of sneha na. Okay. So first line you can see this sneha, internal snehapana. This is all internal snehapana like Shodhananga snehapana and Shamananga snehapana. Vruddha, Bala, Abala, Krusha, Ruksha, Sina, Kshina, Asra, Retasa. These are the indication of Shamana snehapana. And Svedya, Sanshodya, these are the indications of Shodhananga snehapana. Contraindications. Where though the patient is indicated for the Panchakarma, but we should not go do the Snehana. These are the contraindication. Na tu ati mandagni. Those are having very little digestive power or agni. We should not do the snehana in them or snehapana in them. Not in ati mandagni, not in ati tikshnagni. Both are contraindicated. The agni should be sama. That's why we do the first dipapachana or rukshana. So the agni should be normal. It should not be tikshna. It should not be manda. Everything in panchakarma should be in the madhyam marga or in the middle or in the stable equilibrium. So that's why the patient should be having moderate or normal agni. That for that we can go for the Dipana. So patient should not have, if it is Ati Mandagni, he cannot digest the Sneha, he will end up in the Ama. If it is Ati Tikshnagni, he will end up in the Bhasmak. So both are the contraindication. Ati Sthula is also contraindicated because as you might be knowing the pathogenesis of Sthula, whatever he will take, it will transform into the Meda. So that's why the Ati Sthula, and he cannot, the Sthula person is never Kleshasaha. I remember my one junior was doing the thesis in Stholia patients of Vamana, and he used to give the Trifala Taila in Sthula patient. It was very difficult to do the Snehapana in that patients. And the patient comes and sit and they say, I don't want to take this Sneha. Because they are Klesha Asaha because of the disease. That's why it is contraindicated for the Snehapana. Ati Sthula, Ati Durbal. They cannot digest the Sneha and we are not going to get the result of the Snehana in that. So these are the contraindication. Urustambha, it is going to increase the disease. As you all know, Urustambha is contraindicated for Panchakarma. Of course, is it contraindicated for this also because that disease needs a Rukshana. Urustambha, Atisara. Of course, it's a common sense. If there is Atisara, Agrimanda is there and we cannot give the Sneha. But still they have written that should not be. When the patient is having Atisara, we should not go for the Snehapana. Ama, if there is Ama, we should not go. These are the contraindications. Galaroga. Diseases of course, the Galaroga means there is Kapha predominance or Kapha is involved in that. That's why it is contraindicated. Udara. In Udara disease, already it is contraindicated, the Sneha. Their Virechana also they have written it's Ruksha Virechana, Nitya Virechana you have to give. So Snehana is that patient is contraindicated for Snehana. Murcha, you cannot do the Snehapana because Murcha is written in the Jiryaman Lakshana of Sneha. Shirorugbrahma Murcha. So in that cases you cannot go the Snehapana in Murcha cases. Anyway, the patient is having Murcha, how you can give the Snehapana? Chardi. Of course, the Agni is hampered in Chardi, or you cannot, whatever the patient will take ghee, he will expel out. So, Chardi is also contraindicated. Aruchi is also contraindicated. Kapha Vyadhi is also contraindicated. Trushna. Trushna is the disease. Those patient getting more Trishna, they are contraindicated because already when the patient, normal patient takes the Sneha, he get the Trishna. So if the patient is already having Trishna, he will become more like complicated. That's why it is contraindicated in the Trishna. Madhesha Pedita. So in Madhya, they have, it is indicated, but Madhesha Pedita, who have taken the alcohol, is contraindicated. He will go and lie down anywhere. So there you cannot go for the Snehapana. Apaprasuta. This is what actually the in Indian culture mostly complication happens with this. Apaprasuta is contraindicated for the Snehapana. And usually this is not known. They traditionally, like in normal prasuta, Snehapana is indicated. But if we, what is mean by apaprasuta? It might be miscarriage, it might be abortions, it might be IUD, whatever it may be. The apaprasuta is not the normal delivery. Okay. So their Snehapana is contraindicated. That's why in the LSCS also, we never give the Snehapana. Once the patient finish the stitches are removed, after that only we will plan for the Shaman Snehapana also. Till that, we should not give any Sneha. So Apaprasuta is also contraindicated for the Snehana. Shaman and Shodhan, both. Yukte Chanasya, those who have taken the Nasya, Basti or Virechana. This is the common sense. Anyway, we are not Naguda Kanthabhyam. Means with the two roots, we cannot give the Sneha in the same body. So that's why if the patient is already taking Nasya, we cannot give the internal Snehapana. If patient is taking the Basti, we cannot give the Snehapana. Many times I have seen the different practices of Panchakarma. Usually the patient is on Basti and they start the Shaman Snehapana. Never. This is what the reference for that. It is contraindicated. Once the patient is undergoing the Basti, any Sneha application or internal Snehana is contraindicated by any route. Or the Virechana. Those who are undergoing Virechana, they are contraindicated for Snehapana. Then what are the do's and don'ts of Virechana? Which is the main culprit for Vyapada in Panchakarma or in Snehapana is not knowing this. This is what the routinely in my all classes, I preferably tell that this is the basics of Panchakarma. A patient, if can follow this, he is only eligible or indicated for any type of Panchakarma. So, Ushnodopapchari said, the patient should take the hot water, not only for the drinking, for the external use also. He should wash I usually tell the female patients, wash the cloths with hot water. If you want to wash the cloths during Snehapana, use the warm water for that. Or use the warm water for the cleaning the vessels. See, that is what the Ushnodopapchari said. The patient should use the warm water for everything. Brahmachari, he should follow the Brahmacharya. If he cannot, he should not go for the Snehapana. Kshapakshaya, he should sleep only in the night, not in the other time. What is night? 7 to 6 a.m. When there is no Surya, many nowadays know this Kshapakshaya. We usually tell patient to sleep in the night. So their night starts at 2 o'clock and their day starts at morning 10 o'clock. So that's why I explained the night starts in Ayurveda or not in Ayurveda, in geography, night starts when there is no sun. Whenever there is sunsets, the night starts, and whenever there is sunrise, the day starts. So Kshapashaya means those who are sleeping only in the night time when there is no sun. Navegarudhi, he should not, or the patient should not hold any Vega. Any Vega. There are 13 Vegas. So no, not the Ashru Vega he should have. do the dharana. Na vegarodhi. Vyayam, he should not go for the gym. Or those who are walking more than 2 kilometer or 3 kilometer, 3 kilometer should not go for the walking. That is the vyayam. Krodh. This is very difficult. If you once I ask the patient, if you can stop your krodh, I will do the panchakarma. He become very aggressive. Ma'am, is it possible? And I don't know. That's what like you have to control. You should have control on your krodha. Then only you can go for the panchakarma. If panchakarma is going on and patient is continue the krodha or shoka, that's why usually we tell them to stop the smartphones or use the less social media so he won't get the shoka. Mainly the shoka comes with the social media or the phone. So hima atapan. There should not be cold exposure or atapan, not the heat or the sun rays. He should not expose to the extreme cold and extreme hot. That is the do's and don'ts. Pravatayana ayana. There should not be the vayu or wind. He should not expose to the extreme wind. Yana ayana. He should avoid the traveling. 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers coming and doing the panchakarma is okay. Yan ayan, like if the patient is traveling more than 5 kilometers, it is not advisable for the snehapana also and for whole the pancha. Actually, this is what generalized do's and don'ts for the panchakarma and snehapana also. Yana ayana adva bhashya. Those who are taking more weight or walking more, adva bhashya. Those who are talking more, or the teachers or the singers, those who are doing more exercise, that should be stopped during panchakarma. Atyasana, those who are sitting for the more duration in the single asana or single pose, that should be avoided. Atyasana sosthiti. Nicha atyucha upadhana. If there is like the seat is up and down, that should be avoided. Upadhana, swapna dhuma rajashisa. If there is the particles or there is fumes, that should be avoided during panchakarma. Yani yahani pibettane. Those yani yahani pibettane means this has to be followed on the day of panchakarma and in the total duration also. Pibettani tavanta anyanya pitache. Or those are planned for the panchakarma or those undergoing the panchakarma, this should be followed by all. Or this is what written Navegrodhi Vyayam Krodha, that should be avoided by the all. Sarva karma swayam prayo vyadik shineshu cha kramaha. This is for all karma, for all panchakarma, from snehapana, rukshana, vamana, virechana, bastina, for all. Vyadik shineshu cha kramaha. For the this person who is deceased and become weak after the disease, this should be followed by all of them. So this is what for easy understanding. This is what the do's and this is the don'ts. Warm water he should take, light, easy digestible diet he should take. He should follow the brahmacharya. He should take rest. He should be calm and quiet. He should have the mild activity, no exertion, empty stomach in the morning. He should have the gradual. We will usually increase the dose gradually. And don'ts, he should not take cold water or cold food. Cold food also. Food should be warm. He should not take heavy, oily, fried, fermented food. He should not indulge in the sexual activity. He should not take stress, anger, excessive talking. He should avoid the heavy exercise, long travel, eating before sneha is digested. Like he should avoid. Or overeating sneha without sign of digestion. This should be avoided. So what is the diet during snehapana? That should be drava, ushna, anabhishandi. It should not be abhishanti. Mostly curd is what abhishanti explained in the Shastra. So that's why usually all panchakarma physicians stop the curd on the first day of the patient. So this is what Na ati snigdham. The diet should not be ati snigdha. Na ati sankaram. Means there should not be varieties like mix. What do you say? Cocktails. It should not be cocktails. It should be sankar. Like it should be like if it is taking mudgayusha, that is mudgayusha. Khichdi, that is khichdi. Rotis, sabji, dal, chawal, that should be. There should not be plenty of atoms. So we cannot. Usually in my diet, I will tell patient to take shift on the mudga or shift on the khichdi during snehapana. On first 2 days, he can take the diet. After third day, he should shift on the because diet should be lagu. Okay, so clinical application of snehapana, that there are the various opinions regarding the snehapana by Charaka, Sushruta, Vagbhata according to the indications, dose and selection. So this is what the various acharyas tell the matra types of dose. Like Charaka says Rasva Madhyam Uttam, and he usually tell the 6-hour dose, 12-hour dose, 24-hour dose, and it is based on the Bala and Agni. Sushruta says the Rasva Madhyam Uttam matra, but he explained the 5 doses or 5 different doses of the sneha. The first is the 6-hour, which digests in the 6-hour, 12 hours, 24 hours. He do the like 3-hour, 6-hour, 9-hour, 12-hour, and 24-hour. That is the time-based calculation given by the Sushruta. And in Vagbhata, he says Hina Matra, Madhyam Matra, Uttam Matra, but Rasiyasi is the contribution of Vagbhata, which is we usually take as a taste dose. This is other 3 doses are same like a Charaka. It advocates the gradual increase, but Arohan Krama in Snehapana is introduced by the Vangasena. He says it should be increased day by day, and that should be it start with the one pala. So that is the Arohana Snehapana. Arohana Krama Snehapana is the contribution of Vangasena. And Rasiyasi is the contribution of Vagbhata. So Vagbhata divides the main Snehapana into 3 types. That is Chamana Snehapana, Bruhana Snehapana, and Shodhan Snehapana. So what he says, like indications, like Shodhana Snehapana should be given Hastane Jirane Eva Anne. Hastane. Previous day night food, when it get digested, Hastane Jirane Eva Anne. Snehu Achaha. That time the Sneha. In the morning, that time Acha Sneha. Plain Sneha Shuddha Bahu in more dose should be taken for the Shodhana. That is the Shodhana Snehapana told by Vagbhata. Like empty stomach, of course, but previous day, night food should be properly digested, and in the morning, the dose of the Shodhana Snehapana or Snehana should be more. That is the Shodhana Snehapana by Vagbhata. And Shamana Shamanaha Shudvato Ananno. Like whenever patient get the appetite, Anannu, he should not having any food in the abdomen. Madhyam Matrasya. The dose should be moderate. It should not be more if you are planning for the Shamana Snehapana. Okay. And Bruhana should be Rasa Madhya Adehi. Sabhakto. With food, with Rasa or with Madhya or Adi, whatever he take, with Khichdi or in Alpa Matra, then it is called the Bruhana Snehapana. Okay. And according to the Charaka, he says, Uttamatra tasam prayogan bhakshami, purusham prati. So, this is the general line for the Snehapana. The use of Snehapana should be different for purusham prati. That's why it is very difficult to standardize the Snehapana in Panchakarma. You cannot decide the same dose for all. Never. It is not at all possible. Like, I think I have doing many more than thousands patients with Snehapana. But the dose of Snehapana cannot be the same, or I never use the same Sneha or same dose in all the patients. Sometimes the patient's Agni will be better. Agni will be Tikshna Agni, but Koshta will be Mrudu. Sometimes we'll get combination. Agni is Mandagni or Madhyamagni, but that is the season is The season where already Agni is less in Varsha. Sometimes the patient's bala is less. Sometimes the disease, like in Kushta, you have to use the Uttamatra, but patient cannot digest the Uttamatra. Patient don't have the Satmya. So that are the different various aspects or various variations we get in the Snehapana. That's why Charaka in the first line he says Tasam Prayogan. The Prayoga of Snehapana Vakshami Purusham Purusham Prati. It is different for the each person. So what he says Prabhuta Sneha is where to use the Uttam Matra? Prabhuta Sneha Nitya. Those who are used to the more Sneha. The part in some part of India, the people are having Prabhuta Sneha Nitya, like Punjab people or Himachal people. They have the Prabhuta Sneha Nitya. They usually use the more Sneha. Yecha Shud Pipasa Saha, who can bear the Shuddha or appetite and thirst for the longer duration. Everybody is able, like if I get appetite at 10 o'clock, I can bear till 12 o'clock. After that, I cannot. Sometime I cannot. But some people cannot bear from 10 to 10:30, they will become the hypo or angry. So those who can bear the Shuddha and Pipasa, they are only indicated for the Uttama Matra. Pavakasya Uttamo, those who are having Agni in a Uttam Bala, having more strength or strong Agni. Yesham cha Uttama Bale, those who are having Uttama strength, they should have the Uttam strength. The patient should have Uttam strong strength and they should have the Uttam Agni. They should be able to bear the thirst and hunger for more time and they should have used to more Sneha. They are indicated for the Uttam Matra. And now, what are the diseases indicated for Uttam Matra or in which diseases Uttam Matra is indicated? Gulma, Sarpadashtra. Okay, that is a Gulma. Then usually Sarpadashtra, I have not done any Snehapana, but I have seen in Kerala practice. Like usually this Agada people or this snake friends, no, they usually give the Snehapana in Sarpadashtra, snake bites. Visarpa. Visarpa is the disease where in the Chikisasana of Visarpa, it is written like you should give the Sneha, which we should not give the Sneha, which is not Virechana. So you can see the Chikisa Sutra of Visarpa. There they have written the specific Grita for the Visarpa. So Visarpa is indicated for the Uttama Matra. Visarpoch, Visarpa Pahatascha, Unmata. Of course, in Unmada, usually we give the Uttama Matra because that patient will not be in your control without Sneha. So Uttama Matra is for the Unmada. Krusha Mutrascha. So you usually in like we have seen like in renal calculi cases, usually we give the more dose. So then only the pain will be reduced or the stone will be coming out. Kushamudrasha, Gadavarchas, severe constipated. These are the indications of Uttama Matra. Pibeyu Uttama Matra Tasya Pane Gunatshnu. Then Charaka has explained the importance of that dose. Vikaran Shamayati Tesha. It will subside the diseases. Shigram. Soon. Samyak Prayojita. If it is used properly. That is what the previously he has told all the basic principles. Okay, that should be followed. If it is followed properly, then the diseases will come down fast. Dosha Anukarshini. This matra is take the doshas. Matra Sarva Marganusarini. It goes to the whole, it do the Anusarana of whole Marga in the whole body. Balya, it is having the effect as Balya. Punarnavakari, rejuvenation of Sharira Indriya Chetasam. That's why we will see the indication is also like that. So this is the benefit of Uttama Matra. Then Madhyamatra is told in the Arushka Sphota Pidaka Kandu Pama Bhi Arditaha, the diseases of skin, Pushtinascha, Pramidascha, Vata Shonitikascha, like diabetic, Vata Shonit. These are the indication of Madhyamatra. Na ati bahu ashinashcheva, mrudu poshta tathevacha. If the patient is not having more appetite and if he is mrudu poshta, Pibeyu Madhyama Matra. The Madhyama Matra can be given. Madhyamascha Apiye Bale. Those having Madhyama Bala, they can be given the Madhyama Matra. Matra Esha Manda Vibhramsha cha Nacha Ati Balaharini. This Matra, this dose will not reduce the Bala, or it can be used in the Alpa Madhyam Bala also. Manda Vibhramsha. Like routinely in Snehapana, the Vibhramsha is there, or the patient will get the Brahma. So that will be less. Sukhene cha Snehayati. This dose will easily do the Snehana. Shodhanarthe cha yuchate. This is indicated for the Shodhanarthe. And the Uttamatra is indicated for the Shamana Snehapana. Okay. Then Rasva Matra. This is the third Matra by Sushruta. Ye cha Vruddhasya Balasya Sukumara Sukhojita. This is for the Vruddha, those who are old age, having like children's, Sukumara. They cannot bear, or they are so delicate person. Sukhochitaha. They are used to the all comforts of the life. Rikta koshtatvam ahitam yesham. Like empty stomach is very difficult for them. Yesham mandagnashe. Those having mandagni. The rasva matra is indicated for them. Or in the diseases like jvara, atisar, kasasya, yesham chira samutita. If the chronic fever is there, chronic diarrhea is there, chronic kasa is there you can go for the rasva snehapana or rasva matra of the shaman sneham. Parihare. So this is what usually we do in routine OPD practice. If the patient is having chronic fever, or if the patient is having chronic cough, so we give some small amount of ghee for the longer duration. Of the patient is not having any chronic disease, so rasva snehapana can be given. Parihare sneha matra pibeyu tehe rasva yecha avarapale. Those who are having less bala also, they can be used this. Parihare sukha chesham. This is very easy to follow. The parihara, there is no parihara. Like there is no hard parihara. Parihare sukha chesham matra snehana bruhane. And this dose will do the snehana and bruhana also. This both effect you will get with the rasva matra. Vrusha, it is vrusha also. Vrusha effect also you will get. Balya, it is balya also. Nirabadha, there will not be any complication. That means in Uttama Sneha and in Madhyama Sneha, there are the chances of complication. But rasva matra is nirabadha. It is devoid of any complication. Chiram cha api anuvartate. For the longer duration, you can use it. Okay. Okay, so according to Sushruta, he says this is the different clinical practice of Sushruta for the Snehana. He says, Ya matra parijiryate chaturbhaga gatehani. In the 1/4 day, like in the 3 hours, we take the 12 hours day, no, or 12 hours night. So chaturbhaga gatehani. So in 3 hours, the dose, which dose is get digested, sa matra. What is the use of that matra? Deepayati. It does the Deepayati Agni. It is do the Deepana of Agni. Alpa doshesha pujita. Whenever there is doshas are in alpa matra doshit or in alpa matra vitiated, there this matra is indicated. 3-hour dose. He is very calculative. Like in all Panchakarma practices, the Sushruta has given very calculative understanding of Panchakarma. For 3 hours dose, or the dose which is digested in 3 hours, it is indicated for the Mandagni or in Alpa dosha. And Ya matra parijiryate तथा अर्ध दिवसे गते in the 6 hours सा वृषा बृहणी सा च मध्य दोषेत पूजिता. Like the dose which is digested in 6 hours is indicated in madhya dosha, and that dose is doing the effect of or is having special effect as vrusha and bruhana. Okay, or it is indicated for vrusha and bruhana effect. Then third matra is chaturbhaga avasheshite. So that is in the 1/4, 3/4. Okay, so 9 hours dose. That is indicated for the snehaniya cha samatra bahudoshe cha pujita. That is indicated for the bahudosha and for the snehana. The fourth dose he told ya matra parijiryetu tatha parinate hani. The dose which take whole day for the digestion, and glani murcha madan hitva sach matra pujita bhavet. There in glani, in murcha and in mada, it is indicated for that. Glani, Murcha, Madan, Hitva. There will not be Glani, Murcha and Mada. That is indicated for Pujita Bhavet. Ahoratrat, Sandushta, Ya Matra Parijiryati, Satu Kushta Visha Unmada Graha Apasmaranashi. This is the Shaman Snehapana. What is the Charak Samhita also? Charakacharya also told. The dose which is digested in ahoratra, in day and night, in 24 hours, it is indicated in Kushta Visha Unmada Graha Apasmaranashini. So here, it usually what we follow the Sushrutas, no? So we give sometime this for the Shodhana Matra also. Shamana also you can give in the Unmada and Apasmara, but we usually use it as a in Kushta, as a Shodhana Snehapana also. Okay, so this is what the according to the Sushrutas time taken for this digestion. So these are the various snehas we use. I have given the different taila and grita which we use. So in market, these are the gritas or grita kalpas is available for the panchakarma. So we usually, this is the most used gritas in our clinical practice. So where to use this, how to use this, what is the conditions or what is the falashruti of this specific grita and taila, that we will discuss. So these are the Mahatikta grita, Panchatikta grita, Tikta grita, Kalyana grita, Saraswata grita, Brahmi grita, Gugula Tiktakam Gritam, Trifala Gritam, Panchagava Gritam, Sukumar Gritam. This is what usually we use. Okay. So as it's already 3:30, so next class we will continue this. The more clinical part of Snehapana will be covered in the next class. Okay. So this is what in next time we will use the special snehas, where to use special snehas, in which diseases we use the which sneha, what is the falashruti, classical falashruti, what are the clinical application of Snehapana, that we will be discussing in the next lecture. So with this is actually the classical part only we could discuss today. In that also, if anybody is having any question, they can ask. So we finished till what are the types of Snehapana? Only 3 questions we finish. No, do's and don'ts we finish. What are the indications? So clinical application of Snehapana in various diseases, how to perform Snehapana, that will be discussed in the next class. Okay, class? So we'll stop here. If anybody is having any question, they can ask.
Hello, Dr. Rajkala. Dr. Vinod here.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste. It is not a question about the matras. We should have some more discussion, I think. Because for Shodhana matra, in Ashtanga Hridaya, he says it is in the Prabhuda matra or Uttama matra. And Charaka says it is in the Madhyama matra. that which is we are practicing also.
Yes,
And
sir.
in Susuda, he gave 5 mantras, but he's not
Yes.
specifically said anything for the Shodhana. But I think he said the 9 hours is for Prabhuda dosha. So this point I just put for a discussion in your department also.
Yes, sir. Actually, already we discussed when you were there, sir, as a professor, as
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the. It was great discussion that we will take in our class also. Text it is written like Madhyama Matra is for Shodhananga Snehapana.
Yeah, that is a practice, and we have concluded like that. But there is only thing only Vagbada in Ashtanga Hridaya says Uttama Matra is for Shodhana and Madhyama Matra is for Shamana.
Yes, sir. What clinical practice or with practice of this much of years, like you also know, in some diseases like Kushtha, we use the Uttam Matra for the Shodhana, isn't it, sir? We usually give the like 360 in Trivandrum only. I remember my thesis was on psoriasis, so we used 280, 300, 360 ml of
Yeah, yeah,
Sneha.
yeah.
Shodhananga. Yeah. So, and in text also it is written like in these diseases, Kushta, like we can go to that slide also.
Okay, because of that, just you have to explain in the next class, conclude this about how to practice and this. For just that only I asked this question with
Sir,
all our discussion in mind.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I will discuss this in next class, sir. How we do the Snehapana or clinical, how to do the Snehapana, where to use the Madhyam Matra, where to use the Uttam Matra, what is the views of Ashtanga Hridaya and what is the views of Sushruta Samhita. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Very good class.
Thank you, sir. It is just for the students, sir.
But I had all the class today.
It was just basic, sir, for because
No problem.
they asked again and then I thought, okay, I will record it and then they will go through the basic class of Snehapana. That was the idea behind this class, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you all for joining online. And thank you, students, for making this possible class, making it online. Okay. So we'll stop today. Thank you all.